Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello, good people. You're welcome to my channel again. Still your own boy, MC Bernardino. Thank you very much for always coming back. All right, if you're new to this channel, this is MC Bernardino, Canada Immigration with MC Bernardino, where I basically give out information regarding migrating to Canada from any part of the world. Are you from Africa, Asia, Europe, South America, anywhere you're coming from, you can always get information as far migrating to Canada is concerned, either through study permit, work permit, visitors permit, express entry, sponsorship, you can name it. All right, for those of you that are new on this channel that have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? I'm just going to give you a few seconds. Okay, subscribe now. Hit the subscription button right now, and there's a notification bell right beside it. Click on it so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. And for those of you that are committed to this channel, that are always coming back, kudos to you guys. Thank you very much, guys. Because without you, this channel is actually nothing. Thank you very much. All right, so I have a very scintillating episode for you, topic for you today. All right, what are the challenges a new immigrant face when they migrate into Canada? That's what I'll be discussing about today, because it's not enough to just talk about coming into Canada through study, express entry, whatever. What about when you come into Canada as a new immigrant? What are the challenges? What are the obstacles you face? What are the obstacles I faced when I came in? I'm going to be sharing it with you today. So you're hang on tight, stay tuned, call your sister, call your brother. It's about to go down now with Canada Immigration with MC Bernardino. Run through my disclaimer like I always do. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a consultant. I only dish out information because I know the importance of that. If you want to make your own immigration decision, feel free to do that. Make your own additional research. Ask me a question, I'm just here to guide you. Guys, I can't make videos on all your questions, so feel free to do your own additional research too. All right, let's get down to business. What are the challenges new immigrant face when they arrive in Canada? When I came in, I faced some of these challenges. There are plethora of challenges, but I'm just going to be giving you some few ones. All right, the first one on the list is language barrier. Especially, in Canada, the official language is English and French. So if you're coming to Canada and this language, you're not prominent in them, then you might face some difficulties. And especially in Ontario, majorly they speak English. It's only when you go to Quebec that you speak French. So for the French speakers, Italians, Spanish, coming into Canada might be very daunting, might be very challenging for you, because the predominant language here is English and French, and it is only majorly in French and Quebec, maybe New Brunswick and some places whereby they speak French. Mostly the common language is English and by extension French. So you want to make sure you brush up your own language, learning of either of these two languages in order for you to fit into the system very well. And something again I want to tell you by extension is another challenge you might face is accent. Yes, accent when you're coming into Canada, even for the fact that you're speaking English, accent is something that you need to work on. Because just imagine coming into Canada and listening to those that were born in Canada. When I came into Canada, it was a very difficult task for me, because when they speak, you have to listen attentively for you to understand what they're speaking, okay? So it's something you want to do. What you can actually do to actually mitigate that is maybe watching some Canadian movies, American movies by extension. With that, you can learn some of their intonation, their accent, how they pronounce words, and it's going to be very easy for you. Because to be sincere with you, if you're coming to Canada newly, within the first few months, you might have to keep up with that, because the accent here is quite different from many other parts of the countries. The challenge that have been faced by new immigrants when they come into Canada is transportation. So when I talk about transportation, as a new immigrant, you're coming into Canada, you don't have a car. Probably if you have a friend, good luck to you. If you don't have a friend, you have to move from one spot to another. Transportation can be very, very daunting, especially if the weather is so harsh. I mean, if we're in the winter period, it could be very, very daunting. Majorly in Canada, it's either you go by bus, if you have a car, or you take Uber or other taxis. So that you need to prepare for, okay? So if you're going by, if you have a friend, good luck to you. Your friend can always take you around, fine. If you don't, then you have to go by bus. Going by bus means that you need to have a smartphone, you need to have a GPRS where you punch in your location, and you need to know where you need to be as at when due. Because when I came in, some of the challenges I faced was I was using the bus. Sometimes I'm at the wrong spot. I'm supposed to be on the other side of the road, but I'm here, and as a result of that, I find myself in wrong places. So that is something you want to note. And if you don't want to go by bus, you want to go by all these taxis, Uber, Taxify, a lot of them are here. But you need to be boxed up. You need to have the finance for you to foot that. So these are some of the things that you need to prepare yourself, prepare your mind towards when you're coming into Canada. The transportation system is top notch. I mean, but either you're traveling by road, by sea, by air, it's top notch. But all you need to do is that you need to be on top of it. I mean, you need to know what you're doing, key in the right information in order for you to be at the place you need to be as at when due. So transportation is very key, and you need to take note of it. All right, guys. So the next challenge I want to tell you about as far as migrating to Canada is concerned as a newcomer is racism. Racism. Yes, I can't overemphasize that. So when I talk about racism, it's not just peculiar to Canada alone. I mean, it goes across the globe, right? Anywhere you go in the world today, racism is everywhere. So Canada is not left out of this. There's an iota of racism in Canada. I mean, it's not so active, it's passive, but it is there. I need to prepare your mind towards that. When you come into Canada, you might feel some segregation, some discrimination. When you go out to the mall, you go to school, you're in the bus, anywhere you are, you might see that sense of, I don't belong here, go back to where you're coming from. But that doesn't mean that Canada is not a good place for you to live. I'm just preparing your mind towards that. It is here, it is passive, it is there, but prepare your mind towards that. I mean, Canada is a multicultural. You see people from different parts of the world, but at the same time, I mean, some people are still naive. They still want to let you know that you're not welcome here. So prepare your mind towards that. Racism is prominent in Canada. It might not be so obvious, it might not be so active, but you might receive an iota of it. So prepare your mind towards that. Racism in Canada, watch out for it. Hey guys, so if you've been enjoying the video so far, why not hit the thumbs up button? I mean, people send me messages, they tell me they enjoy what I'm doing, they send me messages on my Instagram, Facebook, or even on the YouTube, but you guys don't hit the thumbs up button. I mean, take a few seconds, hit the likes button. I mean, if you enjoy this video, if you feel it's informative and you enjoy it, it doesn't cost you anything, guys. Just hit the likes button. I mean, subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel. All right, so next on my list on the challenges that are being faced by newcomer to Canada is food. Yes, someone like me that like food so much, when I came into Canada, it was a big deal for me when I came into Canada. I mean, I'm used to my local food back home, but when I came into Canada, it was a little bit, I have to go extra mile in order for me to get some of this local food. So you might want to prepare yourself towards that. I mean, coming into Canada, the local food that you're used to from any part of the world you're coming from, you might not see it at your bell and call the way you see it back home. So you might have to go the extra mile, spend extra money in order for you to get that. But that doesn't mean that coming into Canada, you're not going to get your own local food. Canada is multicultural. Definitely you will get it, but you have to pay for that. And in addition to that, when you come into Canada, you have to open your mind, open yourself, be ready to learn from other culture, learn their food, learn their way of life, learn what they eat. I mean, with that, you get to diversify. This is Canada, it's multicultural. So just prepare your mind towards that. For your own local food that you're used to back home, it might be a little bit daunting in order for you to get it. You will get it, but you have to pay for it. And you have to go the extra mile in order for you to get it. Just watch out for that. Food is one of the challenges that are being faced by newcomers when they come into Canada. Okay, so another major challenge that are being faced by newcomers when they come into Canada that is very prominent, I mean, I can't but just say it, is weather. I mean, it is a big deal. There are two major seasons in Canada. I mean, we have the summer and we have the winter. Summer period is when the weather is so nice. You can go outside for barbecue, for picnic, chill outside. Everything is good. But winter is the reverse. I mean, it's so cold. You have to dress in layers. You have to put in your sweater. You have to put in your jacket. Put on your thermal wear and the likes, because the weather is so cold. I mean, you don't see people outside except they have a business outside. Even going to work can be a very difficult challenge. I mean, you have to think it twice before you have to go see your friend during winter period. So guys, you want to prepare for that. Winter period, we always experience it towards the ending of September, beginning of October, up till April the next year. It is very cold. I mean, so guys, if you're coming into Canada within this period, it is a big day. You have to prepare. You have to dress in layers for that. It is very, very, very huge deal. Because for someone like me, when I came into Canada, I remember I came into Canada January, so it was the art of cold weather in Canada. So then I came in from Africa where it's hot. I mean, and I came in here, it was so cold. I had difficulty within my first 2-3 weeks. It was very difficult for me to acclimatize myself, to get used to the system. So guys, if you're coming into Canada, you might want to think about that. It is not enough for you to decide because of that you're not going to come into Canada. No, but I'm just giving out this information so that you prepare your mind, think about this, so that when you're coming into Canada, you might want to do your own shopping to make sure you have those boots because it's so cold. The weather is so cold. You got snows. When you're going out, your car, you have to shovel snows on your driveway and things like that. Prepare your mind towards that. Weather is a big deal as far as migrating to Canada for a newcomer. All right, I hope you have been enjoying all the challenges, all the points that I've been giving you as far as migrating to Canada is concerned for a newcomer, the challenges that you might want to face. I'm going to add another one to it now. Isolation. So when I say isolation, what do I mean? I mean, when you come into Canada, if you're used to this communal kind of system whereby you live with your friends, you live with your family, it's a kind of communal system that you're used to from wherever you're coming from, coming into Canada might be a little bit different. You might be shocked because when you come into Canada, you might feel a little bit isolated because in Canada, I mean, it is with the kind of lifestyle we live here, it's not so much of a communal system. You might have friends, you might have family, but they might be living far away from you. So it might be very hard for you to acclimatize as far as that is concerned. In Canada, it gets so worse that sometimes you live with a neighbor for like 10 years and you guys, you don't even say hello to yourself and your neighbors. I mean, everybody just mind their own business. So especially when the weather is so cold, like I told you earlier on, it can be a very big deal whereby you just have to be by yourself all through this 5-6 months of winter period. You can't even go out to see friends. All you have to do is just go to work, go do grocery, go to your religious place and come back home. So isolation is something that you might feel when you come into Canada. Because Canada, despite the fact that we are multicultural, maybe because of the weather or maybe because of the lifestyle of the people, isolation is something that you might not want to roll out. So you might want to prepare for that. Another major challenge that have been faced by new immigrants when they come into Canada is culture shock. When I say culture shock, what do I mean by that? I mean, don't forget I told you earlier on that Canada is a multicultural community whereby you see people from different parts of the world. Yes, I said that. But at the same time, when you come into Canada, you might see some cultural differences. I'll give you an instance. When I came into Canada from Africa, I mean, when I came in, I saw people from different diverse parts of the world. I mean, when I saw people from Punjab in India, the way they dress with their turban and their accessories and stuff on their body, it was kind of different for me because I wasn't used to that. Or you see the Filipinos, the way they have this care and duty. I mean, they're always taking care of people. They take it as a very important thing. I mean, it is very different from me. When you hear the Spanish speak, the Italian and their food, the Portuguese and their wine, these are cultural differences that it was a little bit different for me when I came into to Canada. And also, in addition to that, when I came into Canada, I discovered that people here, maybe because of their own way of life or their cultural differences, they would rather you text them than you calling them. I mean, people don't really appreciate you taking off the phone and calling them. Sometimes they might not even pick your call, but send them a message, they'll reply you back. So these are some cultural differences that was different from what I was used to when I was back home in Africa. So these are some of the things that you want to prepare yourself towards when you come into Canada. The cultural shock, you feel it when you first come in here, you see it. I mean, people with their own different ways of life, right? So you cannot really expect them, you might not really expect them to really accept you, your culture the way it is. They might see it strangely, they might view it differently. So you might also want to prepare seeing their own differently too. So that is something significant that you want to prepare yourself towards. There are some things you do in your own culture, but when you come in here, they see it as an abuse, or so you want to be very careful, study the system, learn their own way of life, learn their own culture, so that everybody don't cross each other's path. Something again is, as far as Canada is concerned, part of their culture, part of their system is the LGBT. I mean, that's a set of community in Canada that you have to accept because they have their own way of life, and you should be able to accept them for who they are. Another significant challenges that are faced by new immigrants when they migrate into Canada is job. Yes, I get a lot of questions regarding this. People ask me this question. I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a banker back home. Am I going to get a job when I come into Canada? Yes, I feel I should address this. This is a huge topic. As far as migrating into Canada is concerned, as a professional coming from back home, it might be very, very hard for you. It might not be so easy for you ab initio for you to get similar job to what you're doing back home when you come into Canada. It might require you to, some of this employer might require you to have job experience, Canada experience, education in Canada, do some certification courses in Canada in order for you to get a professional job in Canada. I mean, so these are some of the challenges. I've seen situations whereby some doctors, some lawyers, some bankers back home, they end up driving Uber or doing some menial jobs just because of the long process for them. It takes them to get their certificate translated into the Canada standard. But I have seen also some people that are so determined that actually went further for it and they got their certification done with in Canada and they are practicing as a professional. So something I can tell you is that as far as Canada is concerned, when Canada government want to talk about employment, they see blue collar job and white collar job as all the same. So when Canada government tells you that the unemployment rate is 6%, that means that they've counted both the blue collar job and the white collar job. So one thing I can assure you is that if you come into Canada today, tomorrow you can actually start a menial job, a warehouse job that you can get paid $14, $15 per annum, depends on what it is. So that is considered a job in the eyes of Canadian government. So it depends on what you are actually looking out for. But something I can tell you is that getting a professional job can be very daunting. You will get it. I'm not saying you won't get it, but it might take you to go the extra mile. I mean, networking, telling people, getting your resume updated, cover letter. I mean, it's all about networking. It's all about getting certification done, doing some exams, going to school. These are some of the things people do in order for them to get professional job. Just to reiterate again, guys, you will get job when you come into Canada, but it depends on the kind of job you are looking at. If you're looking at many jobs, it's just within your bell and calls. You can always get that. But getting a professional job, you might have to go the extra mile. So you need to know that. Guys, I feel you must have enjoyed everything I've been dishing out to you, all the points I've given you as far as challenges that are faced by new immigrants to Canada is concerned. Because this topic is a very huge topic, I have decided to break it down into two. So what you have just watched today is just the part one of it. In my next video, I'll be dropping the part two, the conclusive part of this video. If you feel you enjoyed this video, why not hit the likes button? I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. Just hit on the likes button. Subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed to this channel. Hit the notification button so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. If you feel there's anything you're not clear about, any question you want to hear, you want to ask me as far as this topic is concerned, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, so let us go to the Think About This segment where I always drop it. It hits you at the Think About It and it works for you. On the Think About This segment, I've got this wonderful quote from Joshua J. Marin, and he said, "Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what make life meaningful." I mean, what does that mean? It really connotes that in life we're bound to face challenges. I mean, it's just about how steadfast we are, how strong we are, because we need to overcome them by being steadfast, by being hardworking. So I'm just trying to encourage you. If you feel Canada dream is what you have, your aspiration is mine coming into Canada, irrespective of the challenges I've itemized that are actually obvious, don't be daunted by that. Stick to your dream. I mean, Canada is a very beautiful place. In the midst of those challenges, it's a very wonderful place for you to come into. All right, it's been real. I've been keeping it real with you. Still your own boy, MC Bernardino on Canada immigration. If you feel you have any question, any comment, anything you want to talk about, anything we can use to bring this channel to take it to the next level, drop it in the comment section below. And also kudos to you guys, because without you guys viewing this channel it's actually nothing. It won't be growing at the tremendous rate it's actually growing. Thank you very much, guys. Stay out of crime. One love till I come back to you with another scintillating and wonderful episode. See your own boy, MC Bernardino. Peace out. One love. Bye.